Hello, baby. Hello, nasty. Hello there. Hello. I say hello. Hello, friend. Well, hello, little girl. Hello, my treacherous friends. Hello, operator. The beginning of everything. Welcome back, my friends. It's showtime.
All right, welcome to the Brink of Sanity, episode 120. First episode on the new computer, so there is almost guaranteed to be problems.
120? Are you, like, jumping episodes? Or are you going up, like... How do you get to 120?
We're pumping them out. Yeah, we are pumping them out.
What do you do this every week?
Yeah, I do, actually. This show's not just about you, man.
That's kind of... Is that, like, life in general?
Yeah. That's Mark.
Okay.
And new to the show, we got Jeff.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, thanks for coming, man.
Thanks for having me.
We actually do, contrary to popular belief, have stuff planned today.
It is unbelievable.
Sometimes I say that and I'm lying, but we're actually telling the truth this time. So, yeah, we're going to be getting into, Mark's list of rants, and we're going to be talking about Jeff's band. And
Jeff took a night off from open. He was going to open tonight for
Queensryche.
Queens.
But Queensryche couldn't actually get a gig, so Jeff...
Got the night off. Lucky me.
Everyone's like, really? You haven't come out with anything since Silent Lucidity? That was like...
It's a good song.
18 years. It's a good song, but it's been like 18 years, you know? Write something else. So, yeah, thank you for turning down that gig to be here.
Just a small gesture.
So,
And for those of you who don't know, Jeff is really big in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Very
huge.
German models fawn over him.
So, yes, Jeff is part of Mayday Radio, right?
Correct.
How long have you guys been around?
I was in... it's pretty much my music project, and I've been doing it for about 6 years. It wasn't called Mayday Radio 6 years ago. It was called Redshift. So Mayday Radio probably 4 years, but I've been trying to do music for about 6.
Okay, cool.
What's a redshift?
A Redshift is actually... I was a
Communist?
engineer. I was an engineer in college, and the redshift is actually a frequency shift in light, much like, you know, if you know what a Doppler shift is. It's like the phenomenon of like the police siren is coming closer to you.
Oh yeah, okay.
Like it speeds up.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same concept with light, and it's a stretched light wave that looks red. So like. When stars, like you've heard the Big Bang Theory, right? So stars are always moving around. And the star is moving away from you very quickly, their light waves are stretched, so they become red. So it's called a redshift.
Did you change the name? Because if you ever make it big, Ryan Seacrest won't like that answer.
Probably.
That's probably the most intelligent band name I've heard in a while.
It's too smart to actually make it.
There are also about 6 other bands called Redshift.
Are there?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it was also a marketing move. I mean, I couldn't get Redshift.com. I couldn't get RedshiftMusic.com or Redshift Band. So,
do you get fans showing up for the wrong show?
No.
I was here for Redshift, not Red. No.
No, the other bands aren't around. They're not in New York.
Where are your fucking violins?
I was here for the communist bands, not the intelligent named one. So you guys play a lot of shows in New York, or?
Yeah, I mean, New York, Boston. We've done some shows in D.C. I do a lot of solo shows just because taking the band far places is expensive. So I played L.A., San Francisco, Chicago, some places upstate New York. So as much as we can.
So I've been to Paris, and in
Okay.
Paris you see,
Show off.
yeah. So I'm show off. I bought a plane ticket.
Where else have you been, Moneybags?
Anyhow, so on Paris, you walk down. Just like example, you walk down the street, you see artists on the street, and these artists like would draw amazing pictures, and you're like, holy shit! You must be really fucking good to be able to draw on the street here in Paris. And I imagine my whole point is that it's got to be fucking equally or fucking work more hard to make it in music. So tell me about like how do you make it in music? Not that you've made it yet, but like, what do you do?
I'm far from making it, but I think setting small goals is important. You're not. I feel like nowadays the record industry, they're not pouring a lot of money into bands just because of the internet, and it doesn't cost a lot of money to make a big record anymore. So it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of making a lot of connections, the right advertising. I feel like if you get into nowadays TV licensing, TV show licensing. If you get a song onto a hit show like a Grey's Anatomy or
So
something.
how do you get a song on TV?
Well, I mean, then you basically have to get in touch with music supervisors for those television shows, which are very difficult to get in touch with. So, I mean, it's just keep playing a lot of shows. Hopefully, someone who has some connections will listen to you and like you, or grassroots style, just build a fan base just by. I mean, the only way I know to do that is just to keep playing, and any chance you can get to get exposure, like I'm here on this podcast. If I can get...
hopefully it's not your A plan, but...
Right, well, whatever. I did a radio campaign earlier this year. It was a lot of smaller stations across the U.S., but I got radio play on like 150 stations or so across the U.S.
How does the radio campaign work? Like, what do you do?
Basically, I hired someone to do it, but the gist of it is you send the CD to the station, and then it's all in the follow-up work. I mean, radio stations, smaller radio stations have a small window every week that they talk to indie artists, or they, will accept phone calls, and usually it's like from 3:30 to 4:30 on Wednesdays. So you just have to be diligent, and I hired someone to do it. But if you were to do that, so every radio station, I sent the CD to 300 radio stations, and I only got about 100, which is pretty good, I think.
That's a great ratio.
Yeah.
How do you know it got played?
Because the promotion company would send me a report every week. It was an 8-week campaign, so sometimes the response was either there was no response, they didn't answer the phone, or they said, it's in the rotation, or it's we're playing it light, we're playing it medium, we're playing it heavy, or we don't like it at all.
Yeah.
So every week I would get a spreadsheet, and it would have the radio station, and then the week, and then whether or not they played it light, medium, heavy, or didn't like it, or whatever.
Do you worry that they'd be pulling a Madoff on you and just sending you sheets of ballot?
Yeah, a little bit. But I know other artists that have worked with this company, and they said they're pretty legit, and the guy sounded nice. And he the other part of it was TV licensing, so I got licensed to I think The Real World, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, some other MTV shows.
If you could get one of the Kardashians to do a sex tape to one of your songs,
that would be amazing.
That'd be awesome.
I can't even imagine.
I think the other way is getting on the soundtrack to One Tree Hill.
Yeah, whatever.
Every band that is on that show blows up.
So
the 14-year-old
you should put shows that don't get a lot of music, a lot of artists don't necessarily want to be on, like America's Most Wanted. When someone's raping and murdering someone, they can play your song. People are like, oh, I know that.
Big hit.
Yeah.
Big hit.
Just out of the blue, because they never played music ever on the show.
Yeah.
Definitely stand out a little bit. So we're going to play one of your songs during the break.
Cool.
Which will probably be in another 15, 20 minutes, or when the rum runs out. So
whichever comes first or second.
Yeah. Actually,
so let me ask you
a minute and a half.
So the big question: does being in music get you pussy?
You know what? Here and there. For me, most of the people that come to my shows are my friends. You've been to my shows,
yeah.
So
does it get your friends pussy?
I've dated girls that have come to my shows that are friends of friends, but in general, it's hard to.
So has there been one random girl you've hooked up with from a show?
Yeah, I don't remember sleeping with her, but yeah.
What was the story? She came with you and it's just oh, you're a rock guy.
Yeah, it wasn't anything. But she's I think I like your music, and we had a couple of drinks or whatever, and I think I went over her place. But it was just I don't know. It's I met her in a bar. It wasn't anything. I don't have any good stories. Sorry.
No Motley Crue stories.
No, a lot of the shows that I play sometimes out of town. I play some colleges too.
Yeah.
And those shows can be really hit or miss. I might play in the cafeteria at
What's your worst show experience in a college?
It was actually in March. It was in Northwest Missouri State.
Yeah.
And so I decided to drive out, and I played a bunch of shows along the way.
Is it one of the qualifications for getting into Northwest Missouri State if you can find that direction?
Pretty much, I guess. But some of these shows,
Missouri State are taken already.
Some of these college shows, their budgets are pretty good, so it can be a decent amount of money.
It's worth it, yeah.
So I went out there and I played at 6 p.m. during dinner, and it was in the cafeteria. Yeah. And there was tons of people there, but at dinner time, they didn't come to see me. You know, I'm not the feature attraction. I was just kind of in the corner playing music, and
You're not the fish of the day.
you know, there must have been at least 100 people there, which is, you know, that's a decent amount of people, but not many people were listening. Only when I played a cover song or something.
Right.
So that actually, it's pretty draining to sit there and to play and just listen to everyone just talk and not listen to you. And after driving, like 30 or 40 hours.
You drove 30 or 40. Well, it was part of another tour.
It was part of the tour, you know. But that was the last stop on the tour, and then I was heading back. And
Then you play Sweet Home Alabama. And everyone goes crazy.
Exactly. Which is I understand that's how it goes, but it was some college shows. It's like, you know, maybe it might be at 9 o'clock, and that's the dedicated. Like I might be in the student lounge or something, but it's not like. It's not dinner time. It's not in the cafeteria.
Right. Yeah, people were there actually interested in seeing some music or
So those shows, I played a couple of those cafeteria ones, and they kind of suck. But I mean, that's how it goes, you know.
Yeah.
At least I got paid. So
Yeah. I mean, that's much of life. Is at least I got paid.
Well, how do you feel about music downloading? Not the legal kind. Not that I've ever done it, but I'm just saying.
Hang on. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You could legally download music?
I've heard you could, yeah.
I mean, like in college, I mean, like anyone else, I think I did a lot of illegal downloading. Now that I'm trying to make money doing music, I don't do it anymore. I don't know. I mean, I think if the artist is willing to offer it for free, I think it's great, you know. But you know, I mean, I don't make any money. I actually lose a lot of money, and I've been doing it for 6 years, and I lose a lot of money doing it because I don't actually, you know.
I see you made that point twice.
Yeah, right. Because there's just so many costs. I mean, just to record a CD can cost, you know.
I've lost about $2,000 doing the show, so I know how it is.
There's a lot of the costs involved. So,
donation link on the front page, BrinkSanity.com.
Like I'm perfectly willing to offer my music for free if it got to a certain level. If it was like the iTunes, you know, free download of the day, of course I would do that. For the exposure.
Yeah. Right.
But you know, ultimately, I would like people to buy my music, you know, to make something back.
Well, all right, not like on the indie level. How do you feel about bands that have already made it? Is that any different, or is that like
say a band that rhymes, their name rhymes with Italica?
Right.
I think they have. I think famous bands, and if you want to call them rich bands, they have a right to get mad too because. I mean, that's their revenue stream, and they're used to selling records, and that's.
Well, could the argument be made that a lot of these bands they get a lot more exposure because of legal downloading?
Yeah, but that's not their call though. You know, that might be the end result, but
I guess for the industry overall, like a lot of bands
I agree
make a lot more money because.
But it's not their call. It's not their decision to make it free or not. It's not theirs because it's out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, if they were to made a conscious decision to say, okay, we're going to offer it for free and we'll get more exposure, but they didn't do that. People just stealing it from them.
That's fair.
There's some value in songwriting, you know. I mean, like I read this article about Bono, and he's like, I mean, I'm a songwriter. This is what I do. I mean, obviously he's very rich, but that's besides the point. You know, just because he's rich doesn't mean his songs don't have value, and we shouldn't pay for them. You know.
I understand that. I think the music industry kind of shot themselves in the foot. Like in the mid '90s. CDs were like $17. You know, for inflation now, that's like $30. It's
Let's say if anyone's going to make a good case for not like illegal downloading, I think Bono, like he could just have a whole campaign like steal my music, fuck Africa.
Yeah,
to put it bluntly.
I won't help Africa anymore. If you guys aren't giving me money, Africa's screwed.
Well, then
it's bad there now.
Well, then there was a huge trend of these groups making like one radio song and having the rest of their CD sound nothing like that. So then you think you're getting one thing, you spend $16, $17, and
there was a Sugar Ray. Sugar Ray had that song "Fly," and everyone's like, "Oh, it's a catchy song, it's great." Then the rest of the album is pure heavy metal.
Yeah,
and it turns out they have been a heavy metal band for like 10 years.
Yeah,
wrote some shit like some like catchy poppy song, and they found out. Apparently, heavy metal wasn't their calling.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Goo Goo Dolls did the same thing.
Yeah, they used a hard rock band from Buffalo.
Nickelback, Smash Mouth. I mean,
Britney Spears.
Even Aerosmith started doing that, which they didn't even have to.
It's funny though. I mean, people talk about bands selling out. Like, it's really hard to make money doing music. So I feel like the sellout label. People who talk about other people selling out are not in the industry because I don't know. You know, if you took my poppiest song on my record, and a label was like, "We got to do more of this, and we'll sign you," I would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
I don't know, selling out. I mean,
It's funny. It's funny because like being an artist is the only industry where people like get pissy at you for making money. No one's like, you sell out accountant. You have to go work and like actually make money for accounting. It's not like we used to do it, man. We used to do accounting for free on the street
Exactly.
corners.
They should just file those tax returns and go home.
Yeah, man.
so I don't know. The selling out label is tough because it's so difficult to.
I mean, wouldn't the basic
actually
dream
make money doing
of
it.
most music artists be to get someone call them a sellout? Because that means they've actually made some cash.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. Yeah.
Although people throw that around way too easily, too.
I think so too. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, some groups don't even change their sound. They just, like, get popular, and then all of a sudden they're a sellout.
Yeah.
right.
It's, some bands are sellouts, yes. That's undeniable. But some bands have stayed the way they are. They just got popular. Like, no. I was going to say Kings of Leon, but their new album was pretty...
I was going to
Poppy,
disagree with you.
yeah.
I love their new album, actually.
But I like it. It's just, it's not like...
It's not anything like their other ones.
No, it's
But
not.
I feel like
It's
that's
not.
also you, like, as a musician, you kind of, like, once you've hit it big and you hit this big album you put out, like, my next album shouldn't be the exact same shit, even though it's what people want to hear. We need to, like, do something different, or else, like, everyone's like, you're saying your second album was
But
basically
there also
the
is a
first
level
album.
of consistency. I read an article that you got to be kind of a band that's like here and there and all over the place. There's not a lot of consistency, so they don't have like a theme to them.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's harder for them to get popular because if they're not sticking with the same thing,
What about a band like The Killers? Like, the stuff sounds a little bit different in each album, enough so that you're like, okay, this is not the exact same thing, but it's good. It's all good.
That might be your
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah,
I don't.
yeah. You think it's
I
all
like
the
them.
same?
I like the Killers a lot, and I feel like within their music they've got some stuff going on. But I think they've kept a similar sound through their 3 albums.
I would say Dandy Warhols. They're a good example of changing up their sound, but...
They're a good example of a band that didn't make it because they stayed with their sound.
I mean, you could say Radiohead,
Yeah.
but that would they changed after they became pretty successful. They definitely did a lot of experimentation. I actually don't really like those albums as much.
I think you actually can't win, because if you stay the same sound, and people say it's nothing new.
Right.
Where if all the songs don't sound exactly the same, but it's the same style of music, that's fine with me. I don't care if their
Yeah.
whole discography is like that. But people seem to want something like completely new, which
Yeah, hard
doesn't
to
seem
do.
like, like
Very
when I
difficult
listen
to
to like the Stones, like you're expecting just like a hard rock band and that's it. Like, people aren't like, oh my God, they did a rock band, a rock album again. It's like, what are they supposed to do? I think it's almost unfair, really. You're either a sellout or you're boring.
And you can't please everyone either. As long as you have a good number of fans, I feel like and
Once you get your third mansion, I think you're okay.
there you go. Right, exactly.
So you're not just a solo; you're a band. So where does the band come from?
Oh, it's tough. I've actually had about 10 bands in the last. No, I wouldn't say 10. Maybe like 8.
It's a lot of bands.
6 years.
Yeah.
It's just hard. It's just the reality of when you don't make any money doing something, and you need time commitment and you need travel commitment. It's just hard to get guys on the same page. And I find these people online, on Craigslist. So it's tough to find your best friend on Craigslist.
Right.
It's probably tough for people. People also probably everyone wants to be like the lead singer.
Not necessarily. The thing is,
What do you play? We didn't even...
I sing and I play the guitar. I play the
Okay.
piano. Pretty much on this CD, I'm the only songwriter on it. But there's multiple aspects of having a band. I mean, basically, number one, I think the most important thing is everyone has to get along. Obviously, if someone doesn't get along, it's going to be horrible. You're driving to Boston; it's 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
2 guys hate each other. Second, everybody has to like the same kind of music.
Yeah.
And for me, as the songwriter, everybody has to like my music. So
It's really about you.
I don't. Yes and no. I mean, I try not to be a dictator about it, but at the same time, there needs to be leadership. It's a business. It's a small little company, and if we're going to get together and jam, and there's not even an idea for a song, then we can just screw around. We can just sit there and screw around for hours and not get anything done. So
So what are the bigger problems you've had with the band, the people?
some personality issues within the band.
They wanted their own fly. Sure.
Well, and the other are fiscal.
I want shotgun. Fuck you. I quit.
There are some, there's some like real fiscal reasons. I mean, we used to have to, before this ban, if you want to rehearse in Manhattan, you have to rent a studio. So you have to even pay to even rehearse. So it was $25 to $30 an hour. And for instance, one of the bands I was in years ago, it's 4 people, so let's say it's $60 for 2 hours. And, you know, you'd figure it's $15 each. And one guy just was always complaining about money. I didn't have money. So he would pay like $5, and I would pick up the rest. And the other 2 guys one of the other guys were just resented. He's like, why should he pay $5 and I pay $15?
Yeah.
So little stuff like that. I mean, and that's just small stuff. And then, you know, most people who play in bands, I would say most that aren't professional musicians, they have normal jobs.
Right.
So if we're going to go, let's say we need to play a show in Boston at, 10 o'clock on Wednesday or 9 o'clock on Wednesday, we have to leave at 2. So, and then if we're going to come back in the middle of the night, I mean, we'll get back at like 5.
Yeah, it's kind of tough with like a real job.
So if you have a real job, I mean, some people, you might have to take 2 days off.
Yeah.
To play one show. So there's that. And when there's no money involved, I mean, I play in Boston. If I make $150 or $200, that's great. Gas is $80. And then we're going to get something to eat and tolls by the time.
And somewhere to stay if you're staying overnight.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, usually Boston, I used to live there, so I have friends, and I can
Do you usually
crash.
get free drinks when you play at bars, or
Sometimes. Not always. In Manhattan, they're actually really bad about it.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
In Manhattan, there's so many bands and there's so many venues for music. I don't think there's a lot of money rolling around for live music unless you have a huge draw,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I just figure like it costs them almost nothing, how much are you going to drink and still be able to play?
But at the same time, I mean, I always think about the business side. If you're playing, Tuesday night at 11 o'clock at some bar in the Lower East Side, I mean, who's going to be there anyway?
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's like if you're like they have things where you're a guest bartender. If you're a guest bartender, if you bring 10 people to the bar,
Exactly.
you can do it. So maybe like the band, if you can bring,
It's all a numbers game.
yeah.
It's all a numbers game.
So what do you do for actual money? So you don't make a band.
I do a couple things. My main occupation, my 9 to 5, is I'm a day trader.
Is it a 9 to 5 job?
It's 9:30 to 4. Those are the market hours. So, I mean, I usually get in at 8:30, and I might stay till 5. But
So what's it mean to be a day trader in this awesome economic climate?
well, I mean, day trading doesn't exactly equate to good day trading. For there's multiple styles. For the style that I do, doesn't exactly equate to like the economy doing well. Actually, in 2008, I did all right, and obviously the market was going down. So the two aspects.
I'll tell you guys, Lima's going bankrupt when I say this every day until it fucking hits.
The two, like for the style that I do, the two important things are volume and volatility. Volatility is how much the market will move like within the day, So in like there were times in 2008 where the market would move. The Dow Jones Industrial would move 500 points easily in a day. And nowadays, I mean, if we get a 100-point move, it's big. So obviously, if the moves are bigger within the market, there's more of an opportunity to get trades. And the second thing is volume. That's the amount of shares that are traded in the stock per day. So the more trading that's happening within a stock, the smoother the chart. If you ever look at a chart for a stock, I mean, it looks jagged usually. Yeah. But if there's a lot of action, there's a lot of people making trades. Those charts will tend to be smoother, and if they're smoother, less jaggedness, it's easier to trade it. So those are the two things that are important for me as a day trader. The style that I do. There's obviously multiple styles, but
we have a question about your band.
Go for it.
Band influences.
My favorite band is U2, and my second favorite band is Pearl Jam. I don't know how much Pearl Jam there is in the music. I feel like maybe the music leans a little bit more towards like Kings of Leon or Coldplay. Kings of Leon's newer album. But very mainstream stuff. I also like a lot of Led Zeppelin, like Bruce Springsteen. I like Dave Matthews Band.
So here's a question. Why don't you try to write, the whole idea is to end up getting caught on and getting famous.
Yeah.
Why don't you try to write something like a little more, I've heard your music, it's really good, but why don't you try to write something a little more poppy?
I mean,
there's probably a point in which you feel like you're selling yourself out.
Yeah, I mean, I think that ultimately, I'm very happy with the songs that I've written. I don't want to make it like Katy Perry. Not, I actually like Katy Perry. I actually like her songs.
I mean,
but
like
I
Katy
don't
Perry.
want to.
I like Katy Perry too.
I feel like my I feel like my influence are mainstream enough that I don't need to do anything super poppy. But at the same time, I mean, I think it'd be fun to write one of those songs. But I've been doing it for 6 years, and I feel like I have somewhat of a consistent sound, and I'd like to keep it that way. And I actually think it's very mainstream too.
Yeah.
So, I don't think I need to at this point. Who knows?
Here's my idea for a band.
Okay.
I want a cover band that all they do is take like hardcore rap songs and play them country style, like that, like Gin and Juice song.
I haven't seen a cover band that strictly does that, but that's always fun.
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of
It's
like
not
a
really,
shtick.
Yeah, obviously.
And I think it's good within if you had like a band, like a normal band, and they just did one or two of those. I think it'd be cool. But I don't know if I could watch like a whole show of that.
You're like, ha ha ha, get the fuck off stage.
Yeah. It might get old after a while.
You're like, I'm trying to eat my dinner here. Come on, we're serious students here at Northwest Missouri Tech.
State.
My idea for a band was to take happy hardcore techno and turn it into do rock covers of it. Only I don't know how to play any instruments, so it kind of just fell apart. And nobody else I know listens to happy hardcore, so it kind of
Yeah, that wouldn't really help as much.
Yeah, exactly. I figured the only way that's going to happen is if I learn every instrument and play all 4 parts. And
it's a lot of time commitment.
So what's up so far as an artist? You've been doing it for 6 years. What's been your best experience outside of being on the show today?
I was a finalist in a songwriting competition a couple years ago. It was kind of cool. I didn't win, and I was trying to figure out how many entries there were. I emailed them, and they wouldn't tell me, but they said it was several thousand. So I made the top 5 out of several thousand. That was kind of cool.
Pretty. Was it was the song actually like you send in like how does that work? You send
you pay to submit.
No. But did you send in like the music, or did you send in like the actual like the recording of it, or like the?
No, you send in like an MP3 or something and the lyrics.
Okay.
So that's what you send to them, and it's anywhere from. There's a ton of these song contests out there. It could be anywhere from $15 to $50 per submission.
So that's not the one we're going to play in a minute, is it?
No, it's not. Actually, it's the one that.
That's a pretty good deal though. You come up with a contest, $50 center.
Yeah, but usually, I mean, they have sponsors. They're sponsored by like Fender and like whatever.
Well, that's like this one guy. He has the podcast awards, and he's just a dude with a podcast, and he wanted a lot of traffic to his site. And while the other podcasters wanted, I even submitted, my thing. Like everyone wants to get the podcast award, but it's really like nothing.
Right. Some jackass is just like, I'll give it an award. I'll do the award podcast. I'll be on the award podcast.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's what MTV did too, and their award shows are huge.
Yeah, all those award shows are all just like
the most hypocritical award show ever. The MTV Music Video Awards. It's like
they don't play music videos.
No, they don't play music videos.
The gym I work out at, so there's like it has like basic cable, and then they've added on some extra couple of stations. And the guy when I signed up for membership was like, "Hey, we're gonna add some music stations also, so you can watch some videos when you're like running or whatever." Not a huge deal, but like cool. Mm-hmm. And so the other day I was looking, they had some more stations. They added MTV2, which also doesn't play fucking music. I don't know what number MTV, like the Ocho maybe, like will play fucking music. But
I thought MTV2 was supposed to be.
It started. Well, MTV started music and stopped, so they had MTV2 to do it, and then they stopped. So now I don't know if there's an MTV3.
Yeah, they play just like random Jackass, not like the actual Jackass show, like those like off their other random reality shows and like a.
Because everyone from that show has like a reality show.
Yeah. I was watching something. They were like they were in some warehouse, and in the warehouse you had to perform stupid stunts and like hurt yourself, and that was the entire show. And I was like, play a fucking video.
Can I tell you how bitter I am about Jackass? Because I had the same exact show 5 years before them. And it went nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. It's still on YouTube. Back from 1994, we were doing that shit.
Did you do a lot of getting hit in the balls? Because
that's what people
not enough crotch shots. We did more.
Want to see that.
We did more headshots, and more body shots. Yeah.
Did anyone actually like lose a limb? Or
no.
Break anything? Because if you're not breaking fucking limbs, or at least spraining an ankle, you don't believe in your
needs to be blood.
Well,
Jeff would sprain his ankle would be a rock star.
Well, one skit, the guy I did the show with, put on a helmet and ran headfirst into the wall, and he pretended to knock himself out. But while he was pretending to be knocked out, I put a pack of firecrackers on his back and lit it, and that was real. And that hurt a lot. Him,
Not you.
no.
I have a question for Jeff. So I'd say like a pretty good amount of fame it would take for you to be like the let's say playing on Tonight Show.
Right.
That would be like that'd be your dream
I'd be
moment.
very excited.
I made it. So let's say you got offered that chance. All the fame that comes with it, but you got to lose. Let's say a finger. You trade a finger.
Well, not as a guitar player, man.
Okay,
Can't be
a toe.
losing fingers. A toe? Yeah, hell yeah.
Which toe?
I mean,
I can do it.
I don't think it would matter.
What if the drummer from Def Leppard had one arm? Would you do that?
Well, once again, I mean, the drummer
You notice
from
it wasn't the guitarist.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I can't lose any fingers or arms as a guitar player.
Okay, how's this? Let's see how far you go.
Really?
You could be you in a wheelchair for 3 years.
No, man, I'm not doing that. That's crap. That's a little too much.
Okay, you go double platinum, but you have to be in a wheelchair.
Nah, no wheelchairs for me.
Okay, you have your own public access show.
Wheelchair.
Definitely.
I would lose a pinky toe. Pinky toes suck.
Yeah, whatever.
The only thing they do is get
Okay,
stubbed.
so what's his name on the 49ers? The guy that cut off the part of his finger to play in the Super Bowl.
What? I didn't hear about that.
1987 Super Bowl against the Bengals. The safety, Ronnie Lott, lost part of his, I think maybe his pinky, to play in the Super Bowl because it was like whatever it was, the injury. What's going on there, man? What are you doing?
No, keep going, keep going.
The injury he had, I guess the pain, they couldn't do anything about it. Like he just couldn't play in the game unless they like amputated it. And they amputated the top of one of his fingers. I think maybe the pinky.
I heard about that, yeah.
And he did that so he could play in the fucking Super Bowl.
Well, Ronnie Lott's a badass.
I mean, obviously. I mean,
even before I heard that story.
who cares? You don't fuck with the guy that's like, yeah, I wanted to play the game, so I had my finger cut off. Yeah.
Wow.
There was a guy like that in the UFC. He got one of those arm locks, and his forearm popped.
Oh my god!
And the ref called the fight, and he's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Well, your arm just broke." He's like, "No, it didn't. Let's go."
Monty Python.
Yeah.
Just
the flesh wound. You lost your leg. It's a flesh wound.
I would have screamed and cried and shit myself, and then crawled into the fetal position. That would have been. The guy got mad too when they canceled it.
Can you imagine Ryan Lott's your landlord? He's like the rent. Well, I don't have it. I cut off a finger to play in the Super Bowl. I'll get it. Don't fucking worry.
Yeah, I would pay rent on the 20th of every month just to make sure it's not late. What do you say we take a break and play one of your songs?
Cool.
And are you going to stay for Mark's list of pet peeves?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool.
All right, we'll be right back.
Not even begun to fight, and I'm convinced that my hands are tied. I ain't got no soapbox to stand on, so what the hell could I do? I'll keep on playing it safe, sit back and enjoy the view. Why the hell should I sacrifice, and really, what can one man do? Galvanize apathetic lives, synchronize people's hearts and minds, rhapsodize, can the future be? Romanticize, can the world be free? Polarize and unite left and right, harmonize, we don't need fists to fight, jeopardize the status quo, glamorize revolution's road. Oh, oh, yeah.
I need a garage door opener for my balls.
What?
What the fuck?
I don't like the smell that usually forms down there if I go for a couple days without washing.
I'm proud of you.
It smells like onions wrapped in asshole.
What the fuck are we talking about?
Hey, Dad, remember that one time I got that cock stuck in my ass?
He just went over legs and arms. In a truck not too hard to locate, featuring painted images of a peeled banana, the exposed part shaped like a condom, and a shirtless man saying, "I protect myself." To you.
What kind of fucking question is this? I'm the host of the show, and I get put down on every episode.
I love you, Tim.
John is a man of God.
Shed his precious blood.
Shed his precious blood.
And died.
And died.
For my sin. And now the three guys that taught your mom that thing you like. It's Minor Detail.
MinorDetailPodcast.com.
Let's cut to the chase. I'm DJ, and I do a little something called the Greenlight Show. Now, I want you to be a fan of the show, so I'm making you listen to this sample. And these girls, they think, oh, as long as I show off my tits, I'm fat. I'll wear this skin-tight shirt and show off all my tits.
Yeah, I see
That'll look real good.
I see that a lot, actually, and it's rather disgusting.
And I've heard these girls, they'll say stuff like, well, you're looking.
Yeah, because I want to throw up.
Yeah, just because I'm looking at your enormous exposed tits, that doesn't mean I like them.
Yeah, exactly.
Like driving by a car wreck, if I were to see a 6-year-old boy's head smashed and run over by an SUV, just because I can't look away, that doesn't mean I like the way it looks. I went to go see Toy Story 3.
My bad.
I don't mean to spoil the movie for anybody, but Andy dies.
Does he get AIDS?
Andy gets AIDS in Toy Story 3 from a gay orgy. He got drunk. He went up to
at college.
The plot of this is it shows Andy leaving his parents in the beginning, his mom's house.
Yeah, his single mom.
Where the fuck is Andy's dad?
His mom's a single mom.
So the opening scene is just Andy going, "Out of here, Mom, fuck off!" And Andy drives off to his college.
Smoking weed.
Andy gets to college, and the first thing, he opens the door to his new apartment. And his roommates, who he's never met, are in there. They go, "Hey, Andy, rub this on your tongue." Andy starts fucking all these dudes. It's a big, giant orgy.
Wow.
It's like gays and lesbos and normals, and they're all just intertwined fucking.
That's weird.
And then Woody shows up, but it's not Woody. It's Andy's dick with a cowboy hat on it. And he goes, "Check out my Woody!" If you like what you hear, head on over to greenlightshow.com. You can find out everything about the show right from the homepage. greenlightshow.com. See you there.
All right, we're back.
We're back.
Episode 120. Did I mention that?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, we're cruising.
It's crazy.
We're on a good streak, I think.
Jeff's still here. Say hi.
Still here.
We're still here.
Still cranking along.
Once Queensryche gets their thing steady, it's ready for tonight.
Yeah, once he
Jeff
gets
will be
that
out,
text,
but,
he's
I gotta
gonna
go.
Yeah.
So it's the that time of the month.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, well, none of us are women, so what would be that time of the month?
Well, on this show, that means it's time for Mark's pet peeves.
I'm gonna call them my rants, actually.
Okay, Mark's rants.
Before I go into that, I just want to mention that you're looking svelte.
Oh, thank you.
Have you lost some weight?
I have, actually. I started swimming.
Oh, is that the gym you pay $15 for that provides pizza and bagels has a pool?
No, I joined something else.
How much is this one?
$75 for the whole year.
What the?
Is that like a Y?
No, it's
what did you join?
New York Rec Center. It's got a swimming pool, and I started 2 weeks ago, and I lost 6 pounds in 2 weeks.
Do they feed you also there?
No, but they let me swim with my beard.
Do you have to normally shave your face before swimming?
Well, I have to wear a swimming cap. So I joined before I had the beard, and I said, well, if I have to have the cap for my head, what are they going to do when I have the beard? Like wrap it in like saran wrap or something. But apparently they're fine with the beard.
Yeah, I have a lot of hair on my arms. What if I have more hair on my arms than I have on my head? Do I still have to wear a cap?
I've seen people with the back of the neck hair.
What if you have like a lot of back hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, why do they have to like... why don't they have to wear a full bodysuit?
Is head hair that much looser? I know for me it is because I'm balding, but I think for most people it's...
Maybe most people it's longer, too. Maybe, not for you guys.
Why don't
certainly.
the cook has to wear a hairnet. Like the lady preparing my deli sandwich has to wear a hairnet, but she doesn't have to her chest hair can go off my sandwich.
Exactly. I'm not. They always ask me if I showered before I came down to the pool, and I always say yes.
That's very important for them.
I'm not into the whole.
Do you think anyone in the history of time has ever showered before going to the pool?
You're supposed to.
Have you ever showered before going to the pool?
At the gym I used to go to, I did, but not normally.
But did you go to a nice pool, or did you go to a New York City rec center? Because there's a big difference. It's very.
I don't always shower before going to work. I'm going to shower before going to the fucking rec center pool. Oh, great! There's chlorine for a reason.
Exactly.
If you're worried about the germs, turn up the chlorine.
Exactly.
And then when my skin starts melting, I'll stop swimming there.
I got in there, and there's this 40-year-old Asian guy, soaping down, and he's getting really into the shower. It's not like a rinse. This guy's foam up and down his whole body, and I swear after I was done swimming he was still in there in the shower. I don't know if this was his own thing.
They have the curtains, and some people...
Oh no, this doesn't have any curtains. That's why I won't do it. It's just one big empty room. That's why I won't do it.
I was gonna say the curtain, when they have the curtains, and the curtains, you they can never really cover everything. But then you have the guys that really have made no effort to try.
Yeah,
I'll try. They've made no effort. They're just hanging out there. They don't give a shit anymore.
Old people don't care.
No, they don't. Old people will shave. They'll play Yahtzee with each other in the fucking gym shit.
Well, I also had the guy who got butt naked and then starts undoing the combo for his lock, and I'm like, dude, really? Get your shit together,
And then they'll turn to you, have something to say, oh, hey, do you know what is it?
What's the McDonald's?
I put on my bathing suit at work before I go to the gym. Then I rub down my bathing suit afterwards so it's not that wet. I put on jogging pants and then go home and then shower just so I don't have to do the whole public nudity thing. I'm not into it.
They're like, hey, can you believe they're raising the subway rates? Put on a fucking pants before you talk to me.
Yeah. I'm like, I hate my body. These people are going to hate it twice as much. There's no point in putting everyone through that experience. We'll just,
Yeah, I guess I think about it it's the most disgusting looking people there will be just naked.
Yeah, they're the ones who care the least, too.
But, I wouldn't care if it would be the guys that care the most are naked. I just don't want to see them all naked.
Yeah, I don't care if the guy is cut. I just don't want to see naked
At the same
people.
time, I dreamed that the women's locker room was like this.
Yeah.
I really just I just think girls are just walking around naked and it would be just a fantasy land.
It's like the After Midnight Cinemax movies.
Yeah, exactly. Nice and light-hearty, no
the women's jail movies.
Yeah, they're not going down on each other or anything yet.
But there's some light touching and maybe a little smelling.
Yeah, they're throwing some bubbles from the bath they have. They have a bath, not a shower in theirs.
Really? It's just one big bubble bath.
So my rants. I've got some rants.
All right. I swear I will make a bumper or something next time.
It's okay.
March rant.
Yeah. Now that we settled on a name. And I only say rants because my wife says I rant about stuff a lot.
Sorry,
politically, really, I like to get involved in politics. I have a very strong opinion about politics, and I'll rant about them. And my wife could give two shits about them, and she's like, great, another rant, wonderful.
Are you mad that I named 2 episodes ago Pet Peeves?
No,
okay.
It's fine.
All right.
It's not too late.
I don't have people.
Well, no, now I have a name for this episode.
Okay. So my first thing is basically greeting cards. Maybe the greeting card industry, which I pretty much can't stand.
Okay.
I hate the idea of a thank you card. Someone gives you a gift, and they're like, hey, here's a gesture, I have to give you a gift. Now I gotta fucking write a card and send it to you. Thanks for the job work I have to do. I don't even like the gift you gave me, and I have to do work. I have to send you something.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the thank you card either.
Yeah, it's the most annoying thing. You have to...
it's annoying too. I mean, you could do a thank you email.
And if you gave me the gift in person, I
Thanks.
say thank you?
Yeah, thanks.
Why do you need it in writing that I'm really thankful?
Thanks with an eye contact, and depending on the gender, a handshake or a hug.
Yeah, and
good
then
to go.
And you go to someone's birthday, and girls do it more than guys, but I'm married, you do it together. You give them a card that says "Happy Birthday." I'm standing here, I'm like, "Happy Birthday." Here's a card that repeats what I just said.
Yeah, exactly.
And with a slogan that means nothing to me, because it was $1.99 at fucking Dwayne Reed.
I think it was Jim Gaffigan that also said it's something that you didn't even write. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh, here's something that somebody else wrote. And
I was going to say, I thought I heard something similar. Yeah, I think
This is the least thought I could put into it. Yeah, it might be
Yeah.
Jim Gaffigan.
Yeah, right,
bit.
exactly.
Cost me $1.95.
Yeah, it's. I just think they're the most annoying thing, and the whole industry has created you to like. And I'm sitting there in the fucking in the card store trying to pick the one that really says what I have to say, and none of them say what I have to say.
Says thank you in the nicest font.
No, now actually I try to send ones. If it's someone I know, I try to give them the most inappropriate ones possible. It was my cousin's 30th birthday. I gave her a card in Spanish. Something about happy birthday in Spanish. I don't know. It was like
Feliz Navidad.
and my message was "Donde está el biblioteca?" That was my entire card.
Well,
I don't know if she got that.
they also need more specific ones. Like, everyone's got the family member they don't really like. And all the family cards are so over emotional. Like, you're the greatest. You're the greatest relative I've ever had. I love you so much.
Favorite uncle.
Yeah, it's like what? They should have ones like I don't like you that much, but I'm obligated to give you this card.
We are flesh and blood.
We are flesh and blood, and it would be rude if I didn't give this to you. So have a decent day.
Happy it'll be good seeing you at another family mandated event.
Mediocre
holiday.
day.
Yeah, I hope it's slightly above mediocre, but you don't really deserve great. Something broke, but that's cool.
Yeah, wow, you're kind of not that fun to hang out with, but I guess I have to because you're my mom's brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More rants, man.
I got more rants. So my next one, so this is just like from personal experience to kind of made me think about it. But so a couple times in my life, I've gotten people have cut I've had people cut my hair. Just generally go to get my hair cut.
I think I've cut your hair.
Yeah,
before.
you cut my hair before once. Yeah. Anyhow, so a couple times when they cut my hair, they've looked over especially salons. They've looked at my hair and go oh, your hair is kind of thin. You might be going bald. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, great. Now I want to tip you. You really helped my day there.
Yeah.
But they say that, and what I've kind of learned over time also, I think my hair has just always been thin, and it's not like they've really noticed the trend that they've seen my hair once. But what they'll say to me is you know what you really need to use? Protein-enriched shampoo. And they try to sell you something.
We happen to have it here for $50 a bottle.
Yeah. And I'm like, are you
it's
sure?
your lucky day.
You're telling me you can enrich my hair with this thing you're selling over the counter when we try to cure the whole baldness thing for years. This shampoo will take care of it.
That's the difference. That's what you need.
And protein enriched. It's not like my hair has a mouth. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't even know my hair even uses protein. And how is it going to get in there?
I don't know. I could make the
They're not injecting it.
tasteless porno joke, but I'll refrain.
I don't know what has protein. Tell me. From a pornography? Is there something that goes out into women that has protein?
Next.
A girl I knew, her mom had always joked with her, she didn't want to go down in guys, and she's talking to her mom about this, and she'd be like, "Well, it's 8 calories of protein."
Was her mom trying to talk her into it, or
I don't know.
out of it?
I don't. Yeah.
Was this a chubby girl or a skinny girl?
No, she's a cute girl. She told us that, and I was like, "Wow, you talk to your mom too much."
Yeah, or your mom has some.
Your mom's a huge slut.
Yeah, seriously.
I was like, I gave your mom 30 calories.
She was like, I was 98 pounds before I started giving blowjobs. Look at me now.
She's like, I'm hitting the gym a lot. Oh fuck, what else does that mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, the protein-rich thing is just annoying to me.
Well, lots of places do that special add-on thing. I was telling you guys before the show, I got the new iMac, which it's amazing. I actually figured out how to set it up an hour before the show. But they have a FireWire input. I don't want to get too technical, but basically the input for the new one is different size from the old one. So now you got to buy a special thing to connect the wires that you were using for the past 2 years.
They changed the FireWire input?
Yeah.
Wow.
Could you be less technical and not use the word thing? It's a little too technical for all of us.
Well, I went to the Apple store and I'm like, the old FireWire input's not the same as the new one. He's like, you mean the 800's now the 400? I'm like, I don't know, fuckhead. It doesn't fit. The wire doesn't
Square peg,
fit.
round hole. Just give me the fucking thing that fits.
It's like, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Don't tell me I'm the first person to come in here and say it doesn't fit, asshole. So, now they don't have the little converter where it's just the top part where you can put the wire in is the new thing. I have to buy a whole new wire because they don't carry the converter. $30.
They have all these things like that, and obviously ways to make money and all. if Congress just did away, like said, like you have to make all these things universal, I think Congress would be really popular. Everyone would be like, you finally fucking improved our lives.
Yeah, exactly. So I appreciate the donation, DFA, but it unfortunately just went to a wire.
Yeah.
But we had a show tonight, so that's good.
That's good. That's actually a good thing.
Well, the show's, because of you. Thank you.
So another thing that annoys me, or not even annoys me, I don't know, I rant. Like you see those like radio, TV ads. They're like work from home and make like $800 a month or whatever.
Tiny classified ads in newspapers.
First, the best part is they always say like, this is a legit deal. You could really, and if you have to use the word legit in your ad, it could be further from a criminal activity.
Exactly.
And they always say that, and they're like, work from home and make $800 a day, whatever it is that you can make a day.
Yeah, it's never a realistic amount. It's always like make $12,000 a month.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah. But it's
Working from my home.
Yeah.
I also think about the idea of like, I don't fucking want to work from home. How fucking boring would it be if you spent your entire day working from home? You didn't see anyone.
Well, if I made $12,000 like a week or something,
yeah.
that would be. I would work from home.
They always kind of up it also because like they have shown one couple that made like we made $3,000 in the first month. Then they jump to a couple like we made $72,000 in the first month.
Yeah.
I actually have something to say. Anyone who is making that kind of money is not going to tell you how to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
No way.
Exactly, because if everyone's doing that, then nobody's making shit anymore. All those things are either pyramid scams or just outright lies. But I think a lot of them are just like, if you just sign up like 45 people, you'll make $12,000. But then you have to do that every single month for the rest of your life.
Right.
I mean, I don't think in your life you'll ever have the interaction that goes something like this. Jim, I mean, like you were kind of down on your luck. Now you're driving a Benz. What happened? Well, I stayed up late watching an infomercial one night, and it changed from there. It was the one legitimate infomercial, and in the infomercial, it said this is the legitimate one, so I knew it was a legitimate one.
Right, exactly. Although I don't know if I'd have the willpower. I'd be like, work, porn, work, porn, work, porn.
That's what I'm going to make tons of money. My infomercial is going to be like, work from home, looking at porn all day, and you'll make millions. I can look at porn all day at home and make millions. I already do that. And now I can make money doing it.
How would you actually do that?
Tell me more.
You place tiny classified ads on girls' clits.
Oh, okay. They could trim their bush into .com ads.
How hard do you think it would be to make it in the area of like make a website and like get people to drive to your porn site?
What?
It'd probably be impossible, but like.
Wait.
Just like he's trying, like Jeff here was trying to make it in music.
Are you trying to compare my career?
Not at all.
Please don't.
Not at all.
Are you saying make a porn site?
I'm saying like I'm like a bang bus and some of them make a ton of money doing it and some probably don't.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's a thing you have to, like there's a lot of hustling involved to make it in a podcast or make it a band, and like would you feel like a jerk being like calling people and like. Being like, hey, you remember me from high school? Could you look at my porn site?
Right. Well, I think it's a combination of spending a lot of money on advertising. There's also like some of the like you're just searching for like the football score, and then like all of a sudden like there's a pop up with like a webcam on it. Like I don't know how you do that, but if anybody knows how to do that for the podcast, I would love to get people like that. Is also a good thing, and also you actually have to have good looking women because. I may or may not have been to some sites, and there are just nasty things on there, and you're like fumbling for the click button.
You know what it is? You might have to make a porn site that's directed to something that's going to be everyone's going to be searching for.
Yeah,
but like unrelated to porn. Mm-hmm. Like if you can make a porn site that's based on the avian flu, right when that was going to hit, everyone would be looking for that, and you're like, oh fuck, it got fucking people nailing.
Or just make the porn site like very close, like ESPM.com. So every time somebody mistypes, you're on there. And then you got to get the ones where when you try and X off of it, like they try and confuse you. It's like if you don't want to not stay, click OK, and if you do want to not OK stay, click cancel, and you're like
There's on a different note. There's at least I read about this business where they every like mistype you can put, like ESPN or ESPN, they buy all these sites and they put ads on them, and people go to them all the time.
They're rich,
and
they're filthy rich. Yeah,
more people that are smarter than us.
Yeah, like the New York Knicks podcast.
Okay, so my next one.
That's our new show. Actually, that's starting next week for anybody who's into basketball. We got to at least tell people about it.
Okay,
we're talking about promotion, right? And telling people about it.
The Knicks, the official, unofficial Knicks blog is coming at you. Not blog, podcast. What the hell are we talking about?
Podcast, yeah.
Podcast. The Knicks are starting and we're happening.
Yeah, it's going to be a good show. It's not just a Knicks. It's going to be every team. Basically, 3 shows a week. One is going to be Knicks. One's going to be the rest of the NBA.
It'll even be a fantasy draft.
Yeah,
you can participate in. You can do a fantasy league against us. It's going to be...
Off the hook? Is that...
Yeah.
Are kids still saying that?
Yeah. It's going to be like as good a Yao Ming career. That's
Easy
not
on
going
Yao Ming.
Yeah.
So good for 18 months and then crippled the rest of the career.
A lot of potential, but never really comes back and hits the high point.
Yeah. So the New York Knicks podcast.com, that should be up and running, and there'll be a link to join the fantasy team, and then you can trash talk to us because we're supposed to be the experts, and then if you start a team and beat us,
So, going to my next rant.
Yes.
Just segueing. There we go.
All right.
So my first one was about greeting cards. My second one was about protein-rich shampoo, and then I did TV ads working from home. So I'm going to do a little bit less controversial thing.
Okay.
My rant is against prayer.
Okay.
Can't wait.
People always say, like, we need to pray for this, we need to pray for that. And in my opinion, and you guys can disagree with me, no one in their right fucking mind believes in the power of prayer. I think power of prayer, everyone says, I believe this in prayer, we should pray for this. You've never seen someone get into a car accident and people are like, let's just rush into the temple. We'll just pray and everything will be okay.
So you mean God does not want the Colts to win next week?
I think the power of prayer, no one even remotely believes in it. If after 9/11, George Bush said, instead of bombing the Taliban, we're just going to pray, people would have shot him.
You know what? Some people do believe in prayer, and those people die because they don't take them to the hospital.
If Obama just says that, instead of getting rid of, instead of actually trying to use some programs, the stimulus or anything to deal with the economy, we're going to pray people back into jobs. People will be like, "What the hell? They impeach him. The Democrats would impeach him so damn fast."
Well, I've been praying for people to listen to this podcast for 119 episodes.
It doesn't. No one even believes me.
Proof right there. It doesn't work.
If you're, let's say, you're like super Christian, which half our nation, or 2/3 of our nation apparently is, and which
although according to a forward that I got, and forwards are always true, in the next 3 years it'll be all Muslim.
Do you have to pass that on for 10 people to make everyone Muslim?
I have to pass it on to 40 people to make everyone not Muslim. Because if they get the forward, then they're like, you know what, I am swayed.
But have you noticed the same people that are really believe in the religion also believe in having guns? If you believe in the prayer, you wouldn't need a fucking gun. You'd be like, oh, I'm just going to pray that burglar away.
Exactly.
You don't need a gun. We wouldn't have a military. We would just have a prayer service.
I'm wishing upon a star.
Bush would be like, listen, we're going to pray away Saddam Hussein. If everyone could do it later tonight, we'll all just pray. We believe in God. We understand everything's on our side. Don't worry about it. Oh, these tanks? We don't need them anymore.
We're just going to pray away North Korea's nuclear program.
I just think, do you guys think that people actually believe in the... if you believe in it, why own a gun? Why own anything?
I don't think people think about it that way as practically as you do. I do think people believe in prayer. I don't, but I know a lot of people do, but I don't think they don't think of it in that practical manner as you do. You know?
I always think when people say, let us pray, I'm like, oh, well, how about we do something less useless to help everyone out?
Yeah, how about we actually do something?
Someone's sick, they're like, he's got cancer. Let's pray for him. Actually, let's get him chemotherapy.
Yeah, let's all chip in 50 cents.
Some radiation.
Yeah.
At least if we do a 5K, he'll get some money from it, as opposed to your prayer, which is really just kind of a waste of everyone's time.
I'm actually going to call the doctor and schedule the appointment. You can drive him there. We could all chip in. The doctor's like, you need to do the chemotherapy. Doctor, I'm just going to pray it away. Don't worry. I've led a good life. I believe in the power of prayer. The doc's like, are you fucking insane? Actually, not the doctor. The priest is like, are you fucking insane? Yeah, that's
good rant.
Yeah.
No, I like that one.
This is a less funny one. I don't know why. I was thinking about the people also don't even believe in everyone abortion. I think
touchy subject.
Yeah, touchy subject. Well, people if you believe it's actually murder, you believe basically there's probably maybe 1 million abortions in a year.
Wait, before we get into this one, can we go back to the prayer thing?
Yeah.
Because I got this long forward the other day about they're fighting to keep prayer at sporting events. And I just find that completely the whole rant was from a senator obviously from the South, who is saying like we have to put up with homosexual relationships and we have to put up with abortions, so they should have
You
to
mean
put up
put up with life?
right, but they should have to put up with prayer. And I'm like, you don't have to watch gay guys have sex or watch somebody get an abortion, but you want to make somebody else pray for something that you believe in. Like, I feel like it's totally different scenarios.
It would really, if you had to, it would be kind of change the word to national pastime. Like before the games, you're like, okay, everyone, grab your nearest same-sex partner and fuck them.
Yeah.
What is the prayer in sporting events?
They wanted to have like a...
Oh, they wanted to introduce it.
No, I think it was before like a Tennessee football game, so they do have a prayer,
Gotcha.
and they wanted to get rid of it, and the guy like flipped out. I don't know what crazy thing they do down there, but
it's not like something that's like a real staple or something. I didn't know if I was missing something.
The seventh inning when they always do, not
the stretch,
not the stretch, but like they'll do like God Bless America or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since 9/11. And I'm like, is this really the appropriate venue? Just we're gathered around watching people like spit and like hit baseballs. This is where we're going to listen to God Bless America.
I know it's so bad. It's so bad, especially if you have your 9/11 theories like I do, which I don't. That's another
I've
episode.
noticed anytime you're at a gathering over like 300 people,
Mm-hmm.
they do like the whatchamacallit, say can you say?
Oh. Star Spangled
Banner. Yeah. Yeah, if that ever catches on. You guys should
the old say.
You ever think about covering Star Spangled Banner if you're bad?
I never thought of that. Nobody does that.
Maybe like a hip hop version of it.
All right, anyway.
Anyway, going to my little quick. This is not going to be funny, but abortion in the sense of if people really believe in abortion with murder, you believe 1 million people are getting aborted every year.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Holocaust going on here, and if a Holocaust was going on here, if they were killing all the Mexicans, I probably wouldn't go to work the next day. I'd probably try to do something about it. But these people are like, my God, this is murder. You're killing. I'll have to go work at the register at the JCPenney. So that's more important than actually doing something about the Holocaust going on here.
I think everyone who complains about abortion should have to adopt all the kids from people who got raped or stuff like that.
Yeah, I also do think though, like if you're like, if you're going to be consistent, you believe abortion is murder, you should think that people who get raped should keep the child, and that people that have abortions, the mother should be executed.
Yeah,
I'm taking the extreme position.
Extreme.
No, but like it's like premeditated murder. If you think it's murder,
yeah, no, that's true.
That was less funny.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a downer. But okay,
I thought it was hilarious.
What they really should do? Can't you pray away the baby?
they didn't think of that.
I hope this one doesn't come out in 10 months. Oh God, why did I have sex again? On a more serious subject.
Wait.
Genocide.
Why do smokers think the world is their ashtray? I was walking behind this girl on the way to fucking work, and she just stops at some point, takes a cigarette, and just tosses it in the street.
Yep.
I wouldn't throw my McDonald's wrapper in the middle of the street. You wouldn't do that with anything else. You wouldn't throw any kind of piece of garbage on the street unless you were like really just didn't understand society these days.
Yeah.
But cigarettes,
Because it's small.
it's small.
And non-biodegradable, so it stays there forever.
It's small, and you're like...
It's because it's small.
Yeah.
Because if you threw a McDonald's wrapper on the street, someone would see it. It's kind of, because the cigarette's small.
But she, like, flicked it, and I was like...
That's what they do.
They flick it. Like, I feel like I can't just drop it at my feet. I need to flick it.
Well, it can't be subtle or else you think you're doing something wrong. If you outright just, bam, there it is.
Like, she did something appropriate. Like, that's where I was supposed to. Like, if I was putting my cigarette in the garbage can, she'd be like, listen, we flick them in the street, not in the garbage.
Yeah.
You don't understand these things.
It's also still burning, so you don't want to you don't want to hold on to it until the next trash can because you might hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Take the 12 seconds and put it out, you damn dumb bitch.
Yeah, you get the right to litter when you're a smoker, I guess.
Yeah, you're like, I can't smoke anywhere but on the way to work because everywhere else is illegal, so I'm going to throw it in the street because I hate you all.
This says camel. That gives me the right to litter.
It is, though, you can't really... I heard they might outlaw smoking on beaches and general parks in the city.
Have fun regulating beaches. That'll work out real well.
I was always amused by people who smoke on beaches because it's usually it's like very, very warm, 80, 90 degrees, and you want to tend to cool down. I would think.
How comfortable can you possibly be on the beach smoking a cigarette?
But people, whatever. People like to do it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're...
And if you're addicted, I guess it doesn't matter where you are.
Yeah. So my next rant, So you guys have called customer service before, right? Or something rather. It's not my customer service is not my rant, but you guys call customer service, right?
Yeah, like
At the
2
end
days
of
ago.
any kind of customer service thing, they'll say, so we have a reference number for you. Take down. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, why do I need to take this reference number down?
In case we just blatantly lied to you the whole time and we didn't do what you asked for.
When you call them next time, you give the reference number. I'm like, listen, why can't you have all my information? You have my social security number. You have my height and weight. You have my fucking like penis size. Why do you need my fucking why do I need this reference number? Just take the reference number next time you call. Next time you call, of course, no one has a clue what your reference number means. You give the reference number. They're like, I have my reference number. They're like, no, what's your phone number? But you gave me the reference. Yeah, we don't. We have everything in the system. Just give me your phone number. And I'm like, fuck you, Time Warner, and every other freaking customer service. I've been given more reference number in my life, and I may be given like 1,000 reference numbers in my life.
That's a lot. You're on the phone a lot.
Once, I used I would a compact computer for a while.
I see. All right.
I used to call like every month.
Yeah, if, like when they say, "Do you want the reference number?" I'm like, well, if I'm calling again, we have a big problem because you were supposed to just solve that.
So actually, when I over the course of the month, I came up with I think of a rant and I write it down. Mm-hmm. And as I wrote this one down, and a couple days later, we were on Metro North. My wife left her bag on Metro North, and you have to call the Lost and Found.
That sucks.
And so they give you a reference number. Whatever, I wrote the reference number down, and I'm like, I'm going to get a reference number. So I go down there, and they actually the next day they called me at 4:00. We have it Lost and Found. So I go down there. I'm standing in line waiting with this guy next to me, and he's like, yeah, good thing I brought my reference number. They make everything really easy. I got my reference number. I'm like, holy shit, who are you?
He was paid by them to stand in line and say that.
20-year-old guy was like, yeah, and like the people in front of them were like, give your reference number. I don't have my reference number. They're like, that's gonna be a problem, and they had like a huge issue because they didn't have their reference number. The guy walked up, reference number. Got his phone back in like 2 seconds.
It was like Bizarro World where they actually know the reference.
Actually, it even ended more bizarrely. I've been online for like maybe 10 minutes. I talked to this guy for like 5 minutes. He's leaving. He's like, hey, so he shook my hand. He's like, it was good meeting you. I guess maybe, I don't know if we'll ever see each other again, but it was good meeting you in this having this experience with you. We got our stuff back. And I was like, why are you taking the time to like talk to me? I don't want to even talk to you now. But
if you want to talk to me again, here's my reference number.
Oh my god, it was like just creepy. It was like not like some guy who's like maybe he's gay coming on to you. It was just like the guy being overly friendly from Oklahoma.
Yeah,
and I was like, holy shit, you're in New York. Stop talking to me.
They also always do that. Is there anything else we can do for you? When like
they're forced to say that.
Yeah, you're calling to like pay a bill, and I'm like, well, what else could you possibly do for me?
Or they're like, your cable's broken. We have to send someone out there, and you're like, okay, there's nothing you're not gonna be able to fix it now. No, is there anything else we can do for you? Well, you can fix my cable.
Yeah, the one thing I asked that you didn't do.
We'll send someone out. We'll send someone out there. Is there anything else we can do for you? Yeah, fix my cable. We'll send someone out. They have to keep ending the phone call with that statement.
Yeah, it's insane. I'm so glad I don't have to do that kind of job.
Also, in the Lost and Found in Grand Central, there may have been 50 cell phones. People lost in the trains, and I'm like, who doesn't come back for their fucking cell phone? the guy was getting his cell phone back, and like they had a huge bin of cell phones, and we're like, "Oh, is that like you guys have like forever?"
That could have been.
And no, I asked them, and the woman's like, "No, this is from this month." People leave their cell phones on there, and like, wouldn't you just?
Well, maybe you forgot where you've lost it.
Or maybe you're just like, maybe you don't believe in the lost and found there. So
your wife got her bag back, huh?
We got it back.
Wow.
The only thing was gone was they disposed of like edible items.
Oh.
So like perishables. So we had like a bunch of cupcakes from Crumbs.
Did she have money in there?
No. It was like no. We were going over. It was like a Jewish holiday. We were going, and she was going to stay with her parents over the night.
Crumbs are expensive though.
Yeah,
they threw away like $20 worth of cupcakes.
Yeah, they did. They look really good. They did these mini ones.
They're so good.
I was like, oh my god,
really
I can't wait to eat those. And I was like, oh. And the guy's like, yeah, we have to throw those away. I'm like, I'm going to come down in here and hurt you.
You couldn't have like a 24-hour rule. Where
you had Crumbs cupcakes, right?
I don't think so.
They're amazing. Awesome. Yeah.
And I sound as gay as possible saying the cupcakes are awesome, but these are actually really good.
They're really, really good. Yeah.
Crumbs, yeah.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah.
Drake's coffee cake.
Yeah, exactly. So my next thing, what are you doing on the computer? Playing solitaire?
Yeah.
I guess like this has been around for a long time. It's been just annoying me for a while. But digital cameras, and it's not so much that digital cameras annoy me. It's that basically it's when someone asks you, "Can you take our picture?" And back when 5 years ago or 10 years ago, before these caught on, you take the picture. Then later on, they get them developed, and they realize you can't take a picture. Yeah. And they're like, who that fucking asshole that at our wedding or whatever the hell that took the picture or that from the vacation. Now you take the picture, they look at it and go, "Could you try again?" Oh fuck! I'll try again. Could you try again? It's not my fault. You fucking close your eyes, keep them open. I said 3.
We did that. We went on spring break with the doc, and he got wasted. And every picture he took, his finger was halfway in the picture, and we didn't know until we got him developed. We were so pissed off.
This is on a random side note. I had a friend who just got married. She met her husband in Greece, and my wife happened to have been there. When we first started dating, she happened to have been in Greece at the same time, and they took all these pictures, and there's a picture of the two of them from the day they met in Greece, and they end up living close to each other back in New York. And the one picture they took, her eyes are closed. And they put that on their wedding website, and they're like, and their caption was like, "The one picture I can keep my eyes open for."
Nice.
So, yeah, I screw up all pictures, and I hate when people ask me to, because I know I'm going to screw it up, and they'll know right away if I'm going to screw up their digital picture. Okay.
Good.
This is just a random one. This is not really this is a random one, basically. Basically, the whole idea of, like, in life in general, not, like, you have to know your audience. Like, you make jokes, and, like, you'll make certain jokes around your friends, so you don't make it, like, work, for instance. Because you don't want to be that asshole at work who makes, like, the sexist jokes, or whatever.
Right, in front of, like, the feminist who can't even say, like, pencils in the wrong gender, or she flips out, and...
Right. And sometimes, like, you'll have life situations, not at work, but, like, you feel like you're around certain people where you can't make the same jokes around other people. For instance, like, I'll make some jokes around my friends who are, like, have the same sense of humor as me, but versus, like, my wife's friends, I don't want to make the exact same jokes.
Yeah.
Because they don't necessarily have the guy's sense of humor. And so I made this mistake.
Okay.
We were at a bar. It was someone's birthday, and it was, like, an outdoor bar. And the friend had made, like, we were noticing, like, at the outdoor bars during the day, and there happened to be a decent number of, like, pregnant women there. Like, a couple, like, more than, like one, basically.
Okay.
And she made some comment that she's like, "Oh, there are a lot of pregnant women here. It's kind of weird." And we're like, "Okay, yeah." And, like, hopefully they're not, like, drinking or anything. Like, yeah. And I was like, well, maybe, like, I've heard, like, with Sarah Palin being popular, maybe that having that kind of kid is becoming more popular. That's just part of the trend. And her response, which without missing a beat, was, "I don't think that's how they have those babies." And I was like, "Oh, she really kind of just came back with a very serious comment."
Yeah.
It was funnier than anything I could have said.
It's like, really? I really believe that.
I was like, "Oh, know your audience. You shouldn't make these jokes anymore."
So, yeah, some people don't get jokes.
Yeah.
People live a very serious, normal life, and they just don't get it.
I have 2 more. I'm just doing 10.
Okay.
I had 2 others, and I cut 2, and I figured I didn't want to go too long.
No, I think 10's a good number. If you have extra, bring them on the next
It's like a round
show.
number, yeah. So my number 9.
Okay.
So I don't know if any of you guys are like me, but I have a father. Do you guys have fathers?
Do, yeah.
I have one.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So when you got your name, who gave it to you?
Wait, I mean, like, who came up with the decision of
I'm just
that
saying, like,
name?
your parents probably collaborated and gave you your name, right?
Well, yeah.
So, I mean, like...
I thought you meant which one.
No. I mean, like, so
Sure.
if that being the case, you would assume those 2 people, since they came up with it and wrote it down the first time, would be able to spell your name.
Yeah.
That's what you would assume. My dad, who's now discovered the ability to text message, and he's also, every text message is like, "Love Dad." He signs it, it's like, "Dear Mark," gives a text message, then "Love Dad."
LUV?
M-A-R-K. He spells it. I'm like, you gave me the fucking name. I got made fun of in 1st grade for so long, and because you guys spelled it wrong, and you fuck it up.
Maybe he really wanted MARK when you were first born.
And they lost the battle?
Or maybe they just wrote, like, the down line too lightly. It just didn't show up on your birth certificate. And does he write LUV?
No, he doesn't, like, do anything like any
That's
hip
good.
spelling, wrong spelling.
That's good.
It's really just like...
Just your name.
Just my name. Just gets my name wrong. And I'm like, of all people, why does my dad get my name fucking wrong? And then I call him on, I'm like, "Dad, you spelled my name wrong in that text message you sent." "Oh, whatever." I'm like, what do you mean, whatever? It's my fucking name. I don't give a shit if anyone else... the only people like Matt, the only people that have to get it right are you and my fucking wife.
Yeah.
No one else has to get it right.
And maybe Mom.
Yeah. And then he sent me a text message the other day my sister, I was MARC instead of MARK because my parents wanted me to be made fun of, and my sister Amy, AIMEE, because AMY was too easy.
Oh God!
And so
I hate that.
The text message was like something about is Amy coming? AIMIE. I'm like, what the hell? Why can't you spell any of our names? Only 2 names. You gave 2 names in your life. Your entire life, the only thing you're responsible for giving a name to are the 2 of us and maybe a fucking cat, and you got these names wrong.
Well, at least it's not just you.
Yeah, and he's also just, I guess he's just bad with names in general. I'm getting there also. Like, the joke I always say, like, he's like that NBA player, Magic Jordan, was awesome. He mixes stuff up, and I tend to do that also. But there's been a decent amount of occasions where he's also got my wife's name wrong. Early on, most of them before we actually got married. But, like, I remember there's one occasion he's like, my wife's name is Liz. He's like, is Lauren coming to Thanksgiving? And I said, is who coming to Thanksgiving? Lauren. What's my wife's name? A long pause, and I said Liz is...
Oh, this is after you're married.
It was before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But there was an occasion... There was actually a couple occasions. First off, there was one occasion where... This was before I married also. We were at a family gathering, and he called her, what was it, Elisa, instead of Liz.
That's not even close.
It's not even close. And since that time, we always talk about, well, Lisa, the good wife, has dinner prepared when her husband gets home. Liz doesn't really pay attention to those kind of things. Yeah, so he's bad with names.
AIMEE?
That's how she's actually spelled. He spelled it IE.
Well, that's the same way Amy Mann spells. I think she's a...
My dad named her after Amy Mann.
I don't get this.
No?
What?
No?
What?
Is
Amy
that true?
Mann's like the age of my sister, probably. How old is she?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's the way she spells
Yeah. It's supposedly it's like the French way, because we're German.
Makes sense.
I don't know. Where our last name was Germanic or something, and so of course, in a country that we overthrow real fast. So the last one might be a little bit long of a rant. That's not really a rant. Just so a friend, actually like a friend of my wife's, like the husband, really nice guy. He's a doctor, and he was just telling me like I guess so in the old days, like certain like things that were used in the old days, they thought was like this was like the proper medicine to be used, and one of them was called bloodletting. And something what bloodletting was you let someone bleed to let the evil spirits out, and that person would get better. And apparently, this is how George Washington died. George Washington, you can look it up on Wikipedia. He apparently got sick pneumonia. They did bloodletting, and he bled to death. That's how our first president died, based on modern medicine.
He was still president at the time?
I don't know if he's still. I don't think he died in office.
No, he didn't.
And I actually took the.
I know history.
Oh yeah. I took a little quote from Wikipedia on here. I just felt it was really funny.
You really go all out with this.
On December 12th, 1799, Washington spent several hours inspecting his farms on horseback, in snow and later hail and freezing rain. He sat down to dine that evening without changing his wet clothes. Changing wet clothes, kind of important.
Yeah. Especially in the winter.
Especially if they're going to bleed you to death.
Especially in the 1800s. When you
next morning,
no medicine.
Next morning he awoke with a hard cold, fever, and throat infection called quinsy that turned into acute laryngitis and pneumonia.
That's a very cute sounding ailment.
Ooh, quinsy. I'm so sorry your grandma died of quinsy. It must have been a wonderful day to die. Washington died in the evening of December 14th, 1799 at his home. Hang on. Where am I on this?
He died.
Basically, yeah. Washington died largely because of his treatment, which included calomel and bloodletting, resulting in a combination of shock from the loss of 5 pints of blood, as well as asphyxia and dehydration. Now, calomel, which is also a modern medicine, very accepted, calomel is mercury chloride. It was used to make patients regurgitate and release from their body impurities. In other words, to throw up. They would let your blood release and make you throw up. And that was how they cured you.
Isn't 5 pints? 5 liters?
Pints.
Isn't that like...
There's like
half?
8 or 9 of them in your whole body.
Yeah, it's like more than half.
Yeah. So they were like, we're really going to get rid of the evil spirits. He's really sick. Get rid of more blood. So they take some of your blood. You become weaker.
Not just some.
No, hang on. They probably did this. They probably take a pint or 2 pints. You become a little bit weaker. You're like, I'm a little bit more lightheaded. you're lightheaded. We need to take more blood.
Yeah.
Make you feel better.
If we take more blood, you'll feel better. Not enough blood. Take some more blood.
Well, now he's pale and shivering. Well, he's almost there.
Give him the mercury. That will help.
Yeah.
And the best part is that this was considered like the modern.
This is the way to go.
This is the way to go. This is like with leeches. This is what they do to like cure people of stuff. And so when I was looking for that,
The 1800s suck.
So apparently during that time, it just makes you wonder what doctors are doing wrong now. But there's something called a whole like age in medicine called heroic medicine.
This should be good.
And heroic medicine is I'm just
You just got punched in the face until you're healthy.
In the 20th century term for the aggressive medical practices or methods for treatment used until the mid-19th century. Usually refers to those which were later superseded by scientific advances. Benjamin Rush, who signed the American Declaration of Independence and is considered one of the fathers of American medicine. So we always talk about the founders of our country.
Mm-hmm.
One of the founders believed in giving you mercury and letting you bleed to death was the acceptable medicine. But I'm sure the laws they wrote and everything they wrote there was
exactly. We should never change those ever.
Anything. So during the age of heroic medicine, educated professionals, physicians aggressively practiced profuse sweating, blistering, stressing already weakened bodies, intestinal purging from calomel, vomiting. Physicians originally treated diseases like syphilis with salves made from mercury. Well-intentioned and often accepted by the medical community, these treatments were actually harmful to the patient. So they were like, let's see the doctor to make sure you do die.
So this was 150 years ago. Just going to throw it out there. The Bible was written 2,000 years ago. We won't change that either, though. Just saying.
But it's just amazing. At that time, this was like the best. Science had been around for thousands, if not millions of years. Mm-hmm. And the advancement it made is you need to bleed to death and purge and maybe sweat to death. And that will take care of your cancer or whatever the hell you have.
Well, I guess it's a step up from the 1300s where they would just hit you with a rock until you weren't sick anymore.
Yeah. And apparently they also, this wasn't even not in this, but apparently alcohol was thought to be something you should be drinking a lot of every day. Mm-hmm. And so back in the medieval times, people would drink 4 gallons of alcohol a day. And then if you were considered sick, you go to the doctor, and the doctor would say to you, well, how are you feeling? I'm a little bit dizzy. I kind of I don't feel kind of out of it.
I wake up nauseous.
Are you drinking the full 4 gallons of alcohol? I've been doing only 3. Maybe you should get to the 4th gallon. That's your problem. If you drink 4 gallons of alcohol, keeps the doctor away.
That's a lot of booze.
That's a lot. You know, they used to also have they said in medieval times the diets now we have the 2,000 calorie diet. Mm-hmm. They said the average diet then was 4,400 calories. But they said also at that time they would also actually spend their days chopping stuff. They would burn all the calories. They weren't fat shits watching Real World.
Right. Well, also the life expectancy was 34. Just throwing it out there. Yeah, I mean, the average height was 5'1".
Yeah. Those are my rants for the
good list. I liked it.
Yes.
Yeah, good stuff. All right. Well, I think that wraps it up for today's show.
Do you have anything you want to promote?
Other than the New York Knicks podcast.com?
Hell yeah. What else? What's going on with your shows? When are you performing next? To all listeners in San Antonio.
We've got a couple shows coming up in Pennsylvania at some colleges. But the next definite show is December 17th in Boston at the Cantab Lounge at 9 p.m.
That show may have already sold out, but you can still probably get a couple tickets. Mm-hmm. Queensryche might be there.
Yeah, you can check out the band at MaydayRadio.com, or if you just Google Mayday Radio, you can...
It'll be the first 4 million hits.
Right, the MySpace or whatever it is.
Cool.
Do we want to play one more song before we go?
Do you want to, you give
sure.
us permission to...
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so we're going to play another song by Mayday Radio. We will be back next week with some more stuff. And, check out our new show, the New York Knicks podcast. Until we get a cease and desist, then we'll change the name, but it'll still be the same show.
Unofficial broadcast of not the Knicks.
Yes.
We have nothing to do with the Knicks.
Take that, lawyers.
Yes.
So what song are we going to hear now?
Why don't you put on number one?
All right.
The old
Wait,
number one.
what inspired you for the song?
Oh, the number on number one. The song is called "Automatic Life," and it's about kind of getting stuck in the same daily grind and work, eat, sleep, watch TV, and how maybe you can lose sight of something that you really wanted to do, maybe taking risks and stuff, and just being in a comfortable life and an automatic life.
Do you think it's weird to write a song that no one really will understand?
Happens with most of my
Just
songs.
write something people can relate to.
Come on, man. What the hell? It'd be like, one day I'm at work, next day I'm fighting dragons. It's a different world.
All right, here's Automatic Life by Mayday Radio. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
It was a good time. So, we'll be back next something. I don't know.
Week?
Yeah, next week at some day. Follow us on Twitter to find out what day, because I like to magically not stick to a schedule just so I never get a decent following ever.
Yeah, unlike Batman, which was on the same Bat Day and Bat Channel every week.
Yep. BrinkASanityShow.com is the website. Join the forums. And, I guess that's it, right? We're done?
That's it.
All right. Good stuff, guys.